Well, hello, and welcome to this English lesson about nature verbs. You might think it's a bit of a strange lesson, but nature is something that I really enjoy. I spend a lot of time outside, I spend a lot of time outdoors. And when I was outdoors this past week, I noticed a lot of sounds and motions and actions. I noticed that nature does things. Sometimes it drizzles. That's what we say when it's just raining lightly. Sometimes you will see the earth erode after it rains. I'll explain a bit more about that later in the lesson. So I thought to myself, I think I can put together a lesson about verbs related to nature. Sometimes you'll hear water babbling or crashing against the shore and other things like that. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about nature verbs. I hope you enjoy it. To rustle. So the other day, it was windy outside, and I was under a tree recording a video, and I noticed that I could hear the wind rustling in the leaves. Sometimes when it's windy, it causes the leaves to rustle. When we use the verb rustle, it means when other things as well, but in particular, when leaves are kind of rubbing against each other in the wind, and it makes the rustling sound. I just realized I might have to do some sound effects. It's like, that's not really rustling, but it sounds a little bit like that. You can see here that as the leaves move in the wind, maybe this is sounds a little more like that. The leaves will rustle. To flutter. So if you have ever seen a butterfly or a moth, you might see them flutter. When we use the verb to flutter, it means to fly, but not necessarily in a straight line. If a butterfly flutters, it kind of lands, and then it goes over here, and then it flies this way and that way. So it's kind of like the butterfly is flying randomly. So it doesn't fly from point A to point B. It kind of flutters over here, and it goes over here, and it goes over here. So we have seen a lot of moths fluttering about lately. I think all of the little worms that were in our flower field earlier this year have now turned into moths, and they are starting to flutter around the field. To howl. So there's two ways to use this verb. For me, I always think of, well, either a wolf or a winter storm. Let me explain the two. So a wolf will howl like, ow. That is a wolf howl. That's my best impression of a wolf. But sometimes the wind in the winter blows so hard that it will howl. So you might be laying in bed trying to sleep at night, and you just hear the wind howling. Sometimes it keeps Jen and I up late at night when the wind howls all night. Not a very nice time at all. To lap. So if you ever go to the ocean, or if you go to a lake where there are waves, when really small waves hit the shore, we say that they are lapping against the shore. So they kind of go. Sound effects are awful this morning, but this is not a wave. It's like a really, really tiny amount of water hitting rocks on the shore. And so we would say the water is lapping. If the wind blows a little bit, it will make the water lap against the shore or lap against the rocks. So a very gentle, soothing sound. I actually really enjoy the sound of water lapping. I think it's a very cool sound to hear. To crash. So this is the kind of the opposite of to lap. When huge waves hit the shore, we often use the verb to crash. You can hear the waves crash against the shore. If the wind is over 70 kilometers an hour, it will create waves that crash against the shore. So this is kind of based on the sound and the action. Okay, you can hear waves crash against the shore, and you can see waves crash against the shore. Both, you can say both, and they both mean the same thing. So you can see here this wave has crashed against this rock, to use the past tense, and it's going to crash against the other rock in just a moment. So when waves crash against the shore, they hit the rocks, they hit the shore, they make a loud crashing sound as they do that action.